So the Wizards told me that to warm Gilbert up, they warm the shoulder up with heat and do stabilization exercises before the game. They ice it afterwards. And the best thing for it is rest and then work at the proper time.
All right, Dave, thank you. We'll see how Gilbert goes today. He has been under his average the last 3 games, and he's had a tough time. The first shot is no good, and Jamison has the rebound. Steve Buckhan's Phil Chenier, Dave Branch. As the former Utah star, Deshaun Stevenson bringing it up, and Antoine Jamison tosses up an air ball on the first shot. First of 2 meetings this season. Last year they split a pair, each team winning on the road. The Jazz won here, 97-89 in January. And the Wizards returned the favor in Salt Lake, 109-97 in March. In fact, that was on Karl Malone night, if you remember.
That's right. I do remember that.
Spoiled that party.
Deron Williams hits that first 2 to get the Jazz off to a start.
So Washington comes back from 2 disappointing outings, including the first one, which was extremely tough to take. Haywood with 1 second, and he didn't get it off in time. 24-second violation. So on their first 2 possessions, the Wizards throw up an air ball and commit a 24-second violation. Wizards have lost 3 of 4 after winning 7 of 8. The losses to the Spurs and the Hornets and Toronto. In fact, this is the second 1 o'clock game in the last 8 days.
Well, they got to start getting used to that, because after the turn of the year, you start getting a few more day games. Here, Brendan does a good job in getting position on Carlos Boozer. That's going to be the matchup you're going to see. Okur being guarded by Jamison, because he's likely to take you out deep.
The other loss in that 3 out of 4 span came to Toronto. As I mentioned, the win came over Chicago as Arenas hits his first jump shot. And the Wiz are on the board, tied at 2. Washington 20-16 now on the year. And the Wizards will be home Wednesday night to face the New York Knicks. Boozer from 17. Arenas trying to slap it away, but
this is a very good rebounding team. That's something else Washington defensively will have to take care of the boards. They have the largest plus spread in differential rebounding in the league. Nice move.
And Haywood is there to put it back in. Gilbert got around 3 players, couldn't quite finish. Heads-up play by Haywood.
Yeah, well, let's hope both those plays, the fact that Gilbert much more aggressive, getting that first shot to go down, then attacking the basket, and then Brendan with the offensive rebound and putback.
In talking to several people as we take a look at our wants to watch, Toyota wants to watch Boozer and Arenas, they said to me this week, but what Gilbert just doesn't look quite the same. You know, he's not as aggressive as we've seen him lately, and of course that shoulder and the wrist have to have something to do with that.
Absolutely.
Stevenson, this is his first jumper. Deshaun, former star with the Utah Jazz. Fisher the other way. And gets his own rebound, had it slapped away by Jamison. They started Derek Fisher in place of Gordon Giricek. Giricek gave him little or nothing against Miami the other night. He was 0 for 3. Missed his only free throw, did not score, didn't get a rebound, had no assists.
Yeah, he's had some injury problems that has had him in and out of the lineup. This year he's only played in 26 games.
Tied at 4. The Wizards look to extend their home winning streak to 8 games. Arenas with 3 seconds on the clock. Long jumper. Nothing but net. And his 110th three-pointer on the season.
Number 1 in the league in made and attempted threes.
He's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, 2 for 2.
Talked to him after that Spurs game, and
nice move.
He said he was massaging his wrist. He fell on his wrist. Took a hard fall, too, in that game against San Antonio.
Yeah, he did. Also took a pretty hard fall in the New Orleans game, too.
Haywood called for traveling.
Well, in both of the moves, even though they've been nullified, we've seen Brendan really try to make a strong effort to go towards the basket inside and challenge Boozer. And that's where you want to see him do that, not at the risk of turning the ball over. That's 2 turnovers.
Okur from 16 got hit when he shot and fouled. It's on Stevenson and Mehmet Okur, a 79, almost an 80% free throw shooter to the line. You mentioned the opposition free throws, Phil. This Utah team went to the free throw line an amazing amount of times against Miami, 54 times. They made only 32 of them.
Yeah, you're talking about a combined number of 99 free throws. That game, Miami shot 45 free throws. So you're right. And that was the difference in the game for them. They got to the line but did not convert.
Missed 17 free throws in that game. And they outshot their opponents, the Heat. Back to 27th time as Arenas gets another three.
So he's a perfect 3 for 3, off to a terrific start. Let's hope it continues. So often we've seen Gilbert, after a subpar game, at least by his standards, come back in a big way, and he's off to a good start here.
Here's Williams, nice pass to Boozer, who lays it in easily. Very aggressive, very active.
Again, remember, this team number 2 in the league in assists. They do a great job. In fact, Jerry Sloan teams usually do that very well. You won't find a lot of ball handling out here. They move the ball and try and keep it hopping.
Well, we remember how great they were with Karl Malone and John Stockton, and that was like a machine. They passed that ball like clockwork. Okur for the jumper gets the bounce. The Jazz outshot the Heat the other night. It was the 27th time they've outshot their opponents, but just the 7th time they lost when doing so. Losing to the Heat 119 to 110. Good pass.
Nicely done. Pick and roll delivered there by Deshaun to Brendan.
Okur again, and someone's going to have to cover it.
Well, they ran a pick and roll on that side, and for a brief moment, Jamison had to step out and help towards the middle.
That shot will not count, and a foul is called on Darren Williams, who bumped Arenas. Washington ball on the side. Williams had 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals, starting against the Heat the other night. Was 7 of 12 from the field, made 4 or 5 free throws.
That is second foul.
It sure is.
Oh, 2 quick ones. That hurt him the other night against Miami. I'm sure he was guarding Dwayne Wade. You can see quickly Sloan getting Ron Brewer in. And you talked about the numbers that Darren Williams had, but he also had 5 fouls. So I'm sure at some point he had to sit down. Of course, Dwayne Wade had a big night, 32 points, 10 assists. He had about 6 steals.
Williams only played 36-plus minutes in that game. Here's Stevenson for Gilbert. Checks the clock at the other end. Fadeaway, long jumper. Just missed it. Jamison's there to put it in, but he's a little long. Antoine has missed his first 2 shots. Jazz up by 2.
Gilbert getting so good. They won't count that basket.
No.
Getting so good at timing his shots. He sees the shot clock winding down. He's able to get that clock going in his mind so he doesn't have to look back at it. So he's getting these shots off before the buzzer runs off. This is the last play. Nice baseline move. Close to changing pivot foot.
Called a foul on Karan Butler. Okur playing in the 218th consecutive game, 5th longest active streak in the league. Right side, Butler. And now he'll wait.
Yes, did a good job of getting back and stopping Washington's break.
Karan hits the jumper, his first points of the game. Wizards putting up just 80 points in San Antonio the other night, losing by 13.
They've had a tough time during the Texas hop there. They've had 80 against Houston, or Dallas, I should say, 82 against Houston, and now 80 again. So it's been a tough struggle down there in Texas for them.
Jazz started 1 of 6. Since then, they've made all 6 of their shots, and Butler got fouled as he went in for the reverse layup.
Steve, I'm seeing some good things. Gilbert's off to a good start. Brendan seems to be very active, and by witness of that last play, Karan attacking the basket.
So there's a timeout with 5:26 to go, first quarter.
Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet.
The one show devoted to your team. From the game to the locker room.
Every season, every team.
Live reports, breaking news, inside access to the players and personalities making headlines. More than just the score.
Total sports coverage.
This is your show every night, 6:30, 10, and 1 a.m. Sports Night, the heart of local sports.
Only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hey, these guys joined my team and lost weight.
Mike Golick, 51 pounds.
Sean Salisbury, 35 pounds.
Scott Conover, 100 pounds.
Hey, Marino, I lost 32 pounds.
Get real results with Nutrisystem for Men.
You know, my wife told me I'm not as disgusting to her as I used to be.
Call or go online now to get 4 weeks of awesome food. Plus, through this special offer, you'll also get an extra week of hearty meals free.
Burgers, pizzas, lasagna, pot roast.
Eat like a man and still lose weight.
Our secret is the breakthrough science of the glycemic advantage that separates good carbs from bad. Now carbs are no longer off limits.
Nutrisystem worked for me. Trust me, it'll work for you.
About $10 a day gets you 4 full weeks of rib-sticking meals.
Pick up the phone and lose weight.
Order our 4-week men's program and get an extra 7 breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and desserts. A full week of food and a $70 value absolutely free. So call now.
Gilbert Arenas, who had just 17 points Saturday night at San Antonio, off to a good start here. He's 3 of 5.
Well, steps back and hits the 3, gets a nice pass from Jamison, another 3. So he's off to a very good start. And certainly we're used to seeing that after these games where he's been held under 20.
Jazz are 6 of 6 from the field after they started 1 of 6. And this afternoon, Gilbert Scores for Schools program, $100 for every point. And today that will go to the William Wirt Middle School in Riverdale, Maryland. Wendell Coleman is the principal, so good luck to William Wirt Middle School. Gilbert donating $100 for every point that he scores at home. And on the road, Abe and Irene Poland do the same. Deron Butler's first free throw attempt in 3 games.
In a long while. You know, Steve, I can't understand it because here's a guy that constantly, like many other aggressive players, attacks the basket. So there's often a lot of times. It's not like he's just out shooting jumpers. He's going in, not only attacking the basket, but rebounding the ball. And it's hard to imagine him playing 2 games and not getting to the line.
Game tied for the 7th time. Boozer again and finally misses one, but Okur keeps it alive. Boozer slides in for an easy 2.
Boy, Brendan did a good job of getting a hand up, forcing Boozer to miss the shot, but then allowed him to slip in for the offensive rebound.
8 points, 4 rebounds for Carlos Boozer. Here's Haywood guarded by Okur. And he got pushed this time as he came off his feet, and they charged it to Okur. The Jazz have lost 3 games in a row. They also fell to Seattle and Dallas as well as Miami this past Saturday. That Heat game was in Salt Lake. And they lost by 9 points. Prior to the 3 straight losses, they had won 6 of their last 9 games. Butler again got another one.
When you talk about the 12-1 start they had, that included an 8-game winning streak. And they were considered to be certainly the surprise of the league, but one of the top teams. Now they've started to settle down, even though they're in the top position in their division.
Good switch by Arenas to Okur inside, had it slapped away by Jamison. Brewer gets it back and misses. Butler, guarded by Boozer, pulls up for the jumper. That's off the mark. In fact, the Jazz opened up with 4 impressive wins to start the season against Houston, Phoenix, Golden State, and Detroit, and another offensive rebound. What do you think of the Jazz's uniforms?
Not crazy about it.
Okay. Like an honest man. Gilbert Arenas has hit his 3rd three-pointer of the period, and he has not missed on those long attempts. He's got 11 points. Wizards by 1. Fisher around Stevenson. Couple of picks, and Butler's there for the steal. Wizards run 3 on 2. Butler goes all the way, lays it up, no good. Haywood again with a follow putback.
Well, he's certainly been active in getting down court And following this shot, that's at least his second offensive rebound for Brendan.
Washington with its largest lead, 3 points. Karolinko. They go underneath to Brewer, and he scores. He got somebody backdoor.
Well, that's what he does so well. His movement out there on the floor, so efficient. Numbers are down, particularly on the defensive side. Last year, second in the league in block shots.
Butler again, and can't get the bounce this time.
Boozer bothered him again on that shot. He had to kind of redirect it.
AK-47, nice pass, and Butler nearly got the steal. Oh, what a shot by Boozer.
A great recovery. Shows you he has some good hands there.
Gilbert. And Haywood's there again.
Boy, you love it when your big man is right around that basket for those missed opportunities.
But as you pointed out, just the aggressiveness, which may have slacked off a little bit in the last few games. He's got it back now. Wizards again by 1. Fisher drives, nice pass to Boozer. Boy, they are so good at that.
They're good at passing, but I still think you can take that passing lane away. You're coming up upon the man. You know where Boozer is, so you want to kind of keep your hand in that position.
Gilbert this time finds Butler, and he traveled. Lead has seesawed here. The Wizards had an advantage by as many as 3. Right now they trail by 1. And they've just given the ball back to Utah with a timeout and 1:35 to play first quarter.
Flying to Chicago for business? If these 16 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Chicago Midway, maybe this will. You can fly from Dulles or BWI to Chicago Midway for just $59 one way. Purchased by February 14th.
You are now free to move about the country. Saturday night is hockey night. Saturday soundtrack. Sounds of the game you've never heard before.
It's a hook, but it's a dive, too.
On the ice and in the locker room. Email the booth. Get your questions answered from Joe and Craig during a game. Sports Night and post-game live, before and after the game. More exclusive Caps coverage, fan interaction, and player profiles. The complete Capitals game day experience. Watch Hockey Night in Washington, Saturday, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
He got it! Another blitz coming, Campbell, touchdown! Goal! Alexander Ovechkin!
Destination Miami follow the playoffs with Comcast Sportsnet. Watch Sports Night for analysis, highlights, in-depth playoff coverage, and more. Destination Miami tonight on Sports Night after the game, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Carlos Boozer and the rookie Ronnie Brewer have the last 12 points for Utah, and Boozer's played strong so far today.
Oh, beautiful spin move to the baseline, finished with the left hand. Again, points inside. He's one of the top players in scoring in the painted area, and you can see why, but also has that mid-range shot he can put down. He's 6 of 8 from the field, has 12 points. Remember, in the last 3 games, he's averaging 30 points and shooting right around 65% from the field.
In his 3rd year in Utah, after his first 2 in Cleveland, they picked him 35th overall in 2002 after 3 years at Duke. And then a controversial move, signing with the Jazz as a free agent in 2004. Jazz have 16 points in the paint, and perhaps more to come as Stevenson has just picked up his 2nd personal foul. Wizards have 8 points in the paint, all 8 by Brendan Haywood.
Yeah, all on those 4 offensive rebounds. But here, again, nice pass, Deshaun. Didn't see it coming. I think those passes can be taken away. You have to be alert defensively, though.
Yeah, you have to anticipate them.
Yeah,
I mean, you know they're coming.
Yeah, you know where you're vulnerable. When they run that pick and roll, you know the first place you have to go. Now, if they make a great pass, you know, you live with that. But those bounce passes coming in there, those are predictable.
Mehmet Okur also has developed into a terrific player. Remember, he played with Detroit. They picked him back in 2001, and Boozer gets another rebound off a free throw, and that's a couple of free shots, but they don't convert. Okur played his first 2 years with the Pistons. Antoine Jamison off the foot. Washington turns it over for the third time in the quarter, and let's check in with Dave Branch.
Guys, I've covered teams that have faced the Jazz, and they always say the same thing. You know what Utah's going to run. You just can't stop it. I asked Wizards assistant Phil Hubbard about it, and he said they cut to the ball hard, but the other thing they do, their offense is almost like a veer. It's almost like an option offense in college football. So whatever you take away, there's always something else. Now, Eddie Jordan, when I asked him, he said a lot of the reason is they got a hard-nosed, no-nonsense coach that doesn't mess around when it comes to discipline. Either the players do what they want, what he wants, or they sit down. Back to you.
Yeah, no question about that. Jerry Sloan, a my way only kind of guy.
My way or the Salt Lake City highway, and he's been that way forever, even when he played with Chicago. Actually played his first year with the Bullets. They drafted him. Here's Stevenson going all the way. Block.
That's a pretty hard foul.
And before that happened, there was a call made by Joe DeRosa. It was an offensive foul on Antoine Jamison, our quarterly report, both teams with 6 second chance points. But Jamison called for an offensive foul on that last drive by Stevenson. And that's another Wizards turnover. Their 5th already of the quarter. Five-second difference between the game and shot clocks. Fisher looking for Boozer. Now he pulls up and misses, but Boozer's right there. His shot is good.
Not much Deshaun could do. He had inside position. That rebound took a high bounce. They're going to get a foul on Fisher. Are they in the penalty? Looks like they are, so Gilbert will be shooting too.
Ill-advised foul by Fisher with 2 8/10 seconds to play in the first quarter.
I think guys around the league have seen some of Gilbert's antics at the end of quarters and halftimes and games, so they know to pick him up quickly. And we've seen that wasn't the first time we've seen somebody inadvertently foul him by just getting close to him.
Maybe Fisher thought it was better to foul him and give him 2 shots than have him torch you with a 3. He's already got 3 threes here in the first quarter. 12 points for Gilbert. 4 of 7 from the field. This is his second free throw attempt of the game. Haywood and Boozer have had a running conversation so far in the first quarter. The Dookie and the Tar Heel. That's good if it goes. And that is the end of quarter number 1 here in Washington, where there were 8 ties and 8 lead changes. Gilbert Arenas with 4 field goals, 3 of them 3-pointers. He leads the Wizards with 13. Boozer leads the Jazz with 14. And after 1 period of play in our nation's capital on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, it's the Jazz 31 and the Wizards 27.
Nobody covers sports like Comcast Sportsnet. First with the Hall of Fame announcement.
Part of a dream as a kid would be to have this wonderful career in baseball and to celebrate in the Hall of Fame.
Exclusive one-on-one with Cal.
How did that feel to actually be validated as one of the best?
To see this as a celebration for baseball, and I play a small role in that celebration.
Live on Sports Night.
Would we be here right now with baseball in the shape it's in right now without what Cal did?
The best local sports coverage. Comcast Sportsnet.
Follow the Wizards with Southwest Airlines. Watch for the Southwest Airlines password during Comcast Sportsnet telecast of the Wizards. Then go to southwest.com/Wizards. Enter the correct information, and you could win 2 round-trip tickets to Detroit to see the Wizards, plus 2 game tickets to see the Wizards back in Washington. Flying for business or pleasure, Southwest Airlines can get you to Detroit on one of our 4 daily nonstop flights from BWI Airport. Visit Southwest.com.
There's nothing quite like Capitals hockey. All season, Comcast Sportsnet brings you the games. Available in high definition on Comcast Sportsnet HD TV.
He's been a shooting machine, and he scores!
Saturday night is hockey night in Washington. And more Caps coverage and news on Sports Night and Capitals Postgame Live.
Hat trick! Alexander Semin!
Nobody does hockey better. Comcast Sportsnet.
Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball brought to you today by your Toyota dealer, where you'll find the ride of your life. Toyota, moving forward. We check the Volvo stats after the first quarter of play.
Well, again, both teams shooting a high percentage, 50 and 56%. Washington 3 of 4 from three-point range, out-rebounded by 3. 6 of those 12 rebounds by the Jazz are offensive rebounds. You see 9 assists there, but look at this, 18 points in the paint. Washington has to do a much better job in those two areas.
All 3 three-pointers by Gilbert Arenas, who has 13 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Wholesale subs here to start the second quarter. Antonio Daniels, Atan Thomas, and Andre Bloch are in the game. Arenas just barely missed that one, and Thomas had it knocked away. Had the rebound, but it was knocked away from him. Inside, a lot of time in the paint by Brewer. Now Williams to set it back up. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Dave Branch, and our Comcast Sportsnet crew. Nice pass underneath. Good defense. And another point in the paint.
Again, one of those passes that you've got to anticipate where those passing lanes are coming from and take them away.
6-point Utah lead. Thomas short jump hook, no good. Bloch with a big rebound. Off the glass and in. Boy, that is what you have been waiting to see from this young man. He is capable of those kinds of plays.
Well, he played a very solid game in San Antonio. Had career high 10 points and 8 rebounds. I think his activity in there really was a positive play.
Well, this team moves the ball as well as anybody in the league, and they get in close to get those points in the paint. Now 22 points in the paint. Bad pass picked off. 2-on-1. Now 3-on-1. And Millsap misses. And they call a foul on Arenas. Paul Millsap, the rookie from Louisiana Tech, got bumped, they say, by Gilbert. Referees today are Joe DeRosa, Mark Davis of the Naval Academy, and Leroy Richardson.
And it's Leroy Richardson that makes the call here. And this is the second time he's waited to see if the basket went out and then blew the whistle.
Well,
it seems to me.
But looking at the replay, Gilbert's foot was clearly on the line on that semicircle. So if contact is made in that situation, you've got to call the foul.
Yeah, I'm not arguing about the foul. I'm just saying be precise with it. I think there was another foul earlier where he kind of waited to see if the basket went in.
Right.
The foul on Deshaun Stevenson.
And the Jazz have an 8-point lead. This is their largest of the game. Wizards have committed 5, make it 6 turnovers now. Thomas inside, nice pass.
Well, he was just about to pull up for that shot. He recognized the Ton open close to the basket and delivered a nice pass.
Last year, these teams split, winning on the other's home court. The season before last, the Wizards swept the series, so Washington has won 3 of the last 4 games against Utah. Another open jumper and another converted field goal. Wizards have won 5 of the last 8 against the Jazz. The Jazz's victory last season here snapped a 3-game losing streak in D.C. Bloch nearly traveled. Same 2 teams will play again March 26th in Salt Lake City. Jazz are shooting 61% from the field. And they have an 8-point advantage. Jaron Collins.
Good show by Andre Bloch that time to take away the passing lane.
Williams, Millsap, short jumper not there. Another offensive rebound by Utah. Their 7th. They've out-rebounded the Wizards by 5. Matt Harpering in the game for the Jazz. and Daniels called for a foul. And a timeout on the floor with 8:54 to go in the second quarter. The Jazz with an 8-point lead.
Net Impact, the show that goes beyond the box score to explore the emotion and drama of sports. This month, 2 New Yorkers drive the course of the New York City Marathon to show the town how it's done.
Really? I just don't see how that's a good idea. And I nearly got us into an accident.
Plus, a young boy's courage makes him a hero to Raven star Todd Heath.
From what they were telling me, it was almost a miracle how he's come out of it.
Don't miss an all-new Net Impact, January 22nd on Comcast Sportsnet.
Toyota's industry-leading hybrid synergy drive technology balances 3 benefits that everyone wants. Excellent fuel economy, ultra-low emissions, and quick acceleration. The all-new 07 Camry Hybrid is the perfect mid-size car to fit any lifestyle. The 268 horsepower Highlander Hybrid handles your 4x4 SUV needs. And the award-winning Prius starts around $23,000. Toyota hybrids bring plenty of smiles per gallon. Toyota, moving forward.
Expect more from a value meal. Introducing Wendy's Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat, bacon, and cheese, or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
Fans, Canon Business Solutions is a Canon USA company providing best-in-class document management solutions. For all your office technology needs, it's Canon Business Solutions, Washington's source for document management. He was hard-nosed as a player, hard-nosed as a coach. Jerry Sloan, originally drafted by the Bullets with the first pick back in 1964, then was drafted again by them in 65, played 1 season in Baltimore, then went to the Bulls via the expansion draft, played 10 seasons in Chicago, and made the NBA All-Defensive Team 4 times, and that's where he developed that hard-nosed reputation. And in 19 seasons as the coach of this team, it's followed him around the league.
He was always a physical player out there playing. You talk about the 6-time all-defensive team, but he used to bang you around. He and Norm Van Leer, between the two of them, you'd come out with all kind of bumps and bruises. I think Washington has to do a better job on the defensive boards. Utah's missed 12 shots. Of those 12 shots, they've gotten 7 offensive rebounds.
Harpering on a fading jumper got hit on the arm by Hayes, and he'll shoot 2. Since the Jazz began 1 of 6 from the field, they've hit 70% of their shots, 16 of 23.
And that's only reinforced by those offensive rebounds. Here, Harpering shooting the fadeaway, getting fouled by Jarvis Hayes.
Harpering, an ACC All-America at Georgia Tech, one of only 10 players in ACC history to surpass 2,000 points and 900 rebounds for his career in Atlanta. Jazz have their largest lead, 10 points. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Dave Branch. Here's Daniels driving all the way, and as he always seems to do, draws the foul and hits the hardwood extremely violently.
And fortunately, as he always does, he gets right back up.
Right. You just keep waiting for him one day not to get up, but he just has been doing it his whole career.
Yeah. 3 blue jerseys there to surround him. And again, that goes back to that Jerry Sloan mentality and that old school kind of basketball. They don't give up layups. They have 3 people meeting, and that's why their opponents shoot usually such a high number of free throws. So Washington has to take that into consideration and vary between hitting those outside jump shots, but also mixing it up and getting inside, challenging the basket.
Antoine Jamison, who is 0 for 3 from the field with 3 rebounds, comes out of the game. Caron Butler back in as Daniels makes them both. It's Bloch, Natan Thomas, Daniels, Butler, and Jarvis Hayes. Gilbert Arenas getting a rest. Has played 14 minutes, has 13 points. Jazz have 12 assists and have committed only 3 turnovers. The Wizards have 5 assists and have committed 6 turnovers in the game. Here's Bloch. Looking for Thomas down low, knocked away, and stolen. Another Washington turnover. Karolinko keeping it alive, and Blotch gets it. And he runs the break, 6-11, and he is called for an offensive foul. I think he carried it before the offensive foul.
Got to be under control there and try to stop around that free throw line and let your wingmen. You see Jarvis kind of running down the middle. You don't want to do that. That may have confused him a little bit, and he lost track of the defense and ran in.
He switched hands with the basketball in mid-flight. They could have called that too. Unfortunately, they called the offensive foul. Another offensive rebound, score the field goal, and the basket.
Well, between the assists and the offensive rebounds, Utah has to be headed towards a season high in that department. Their season high in assists is 32. They already have 12 assists. And offensive rebounds, they have at least 7.
And Collins gives the Jazz their largest lead of 11. 7:40 to go in the first half of play here, and an offensive foul called on Washington. It's on Etan Thomas, and that is the 9th Washington turnover of the half. Wiz come off the 2-game losing streak in Oklahoma City to the New Orleans Hornets, and San Antonio Saturday night in Texas. Brewer pulls up and misses. Blotch with a nice rebound, but it was the Hornets game that really got Eddie's goat, because they lost to a team without their 4 best players.
And, after what seemed to be like a very good start.
Jarvis off a screen, a little strong. Blotch trying to keep it alive, but it's tipped to Williams. Baseline Harpering missed it. Thomas is there.
Gotta make sure they do some talking on defense so they don't give open looks.
Butler backs up, shoots, and comes up a little short. Williams runs the break the other way for Brewer inside, who misses the reverse layup. The offensive rebound is not there. And it's Washington ball. After averaging 115, almost 116 points in the previous 18 games, the Wizards have failed to reach the century mark in the last 2 games. Production has come down not only from the team collectively, but the big 3.
Yeah, that's where you really look to see this team pick it up tonight, especially, or today, I should say, coming back home. They are much more productive at home. They shoot a higher percentage. But right now, trailing by 11 and not really having their A game with them.
And that's just their 2nd field goal in the last 9 attempts, and yet they lead by 13.
Nice shot at that.
Yes, it was. Biggest lead for the Jazz with just under 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Wizards Wednesday on Comcast Sportsnet. The night starts with a full night of special Wizards coverage on Sportsnet. Then the Wizards and Knicks tip off in prime time, followed by Wizards postgame live. Coverage starts at 6:30. Wizards Wednesday, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
It's jammed or something.
What are you doing?
Step back.
Please.
What are you doing in my car?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines nonstop from BWI Airport to Detroit for just $49 one way with a 1-day advance purchase by February 28th.
You are now free to move about the country.
There's nothing quite like Capitals hockey. All season, Comcast Sportsnet brings you the games. Available in high definition on Comcast Sportsnet HD TV.
He's been a shooting machine, and he scores!
Saturday night is hockey night in Washington, and more Caps coverage and news on Sports Night and Capitals postgame live.
Hat trick! Alexander, 7.
Nobody does hockey better. Comcast Sportsnet.
The best damn sports show, period. Come on in and be our guest for Sports Television's nightly party. The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on FSN.
Hey, sports fans, check out Comcast Sportsnet for the only sports show you will need. News, highlights, scores, and more. Sports Night, the heart of local sports. Presented by PricewaterhouseCoopers tonight after the game here on Comcast Sportsnet. Wizards trail by 13. It is the Jazz largest lead of the afternoon as we check the quarterly report. Bench points, rebounds, offensively especially, and points in the paint. Massive for Utah.
Well, you see 17 bench points. That guy right there, Ronnie Brewer, whose dad once played in the NBA and also played, of course, with in college at Arkansas. Remember, is it Delph? Sidney Moncrief and Brewer. In fact, I was looking at his jump shot, and it's funny. It's very similar to what I remember his dad's shot like.
And Ronnie attending Arkansas as a rookie this year. Arenas back in the game. His jumper's a little short. Wizards have won 7 straight here at Verizon Center. Are 14-3 here overall. But have lost 3 of their last 4 games. Off the screen, an open jumper, no good. And Butler manages to corral the rebound.
Right now, Washington has to be more concerned with, that's going to be a foul on Brewer, has to be more concerned with defensive rebounding as opposed to getting out and run their break. They have to make sure they secure the breaks. I mentioned before that looks like Utah might be going towards an all-time high. They're high this year, 32 assists. They have 13 already. As you look at that foul on Gilbert Arenas, they have a high of 19 offensive rebounds. Already they have 9 offensive rebounds.
Stevenson and the Wizards have gone stone cold here. Wizards have missed 6 straight shots. On the pick and roll, Boozer the open jumper and gets the bounce. 16 points for Boozer, 7 rebounds. He's 8 of 10 from the field. And the Jazz on an 11-2 run to take a 15-point lead. Butler inside, bump, and can't get the bounce. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Boy, that's a good decision by Karan. Right now, the jumper's not falling for this team, so he's looking for every possible way to get to the basket. He sees that opening. He's able to turn the corner on Harpering and then make his move to the basket, gets fouled. You see the contact there. He'll go back to the free throw line.
At his 15th double-double of the season Saturday night against the Spurs with 10 points and 12 rebounds, 8 of them offensive. He leads the team in that category. Hey, fans, tickets for Wednesday's game still available. Come see Gilbert and the Wizards take on Stephon Marbury and the Knicks right here at Verizon Center. For tickets, log on to WashingtonWizards.com. That's the Wizards and the Knicks this Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. After that, the Wizards will go to Orlando for a game there on Friday night. That's a big game and a big challenge. First things first, they've got their hands full with a Jazz team that just is overpowering them right now. That's a 3-pointer.
Jaron, that was that Williams or Fisher? Williams, yeah, he's second on this team in 3-pointers. Okur leads the team.
Wizards trying to run Eddie's offense. Got it to Jamison a little late. Antoine into the backcourt. Ball's loose. And a timeout called by Utah. That's what they do. They hustle.
Yeah. Jerry Sloan loves that kind of play. No question about it. He gets a hand from his coach, Jerry Sloan, right there.
Another Washington turnover, their 10th of the half, and this has not been a productive output for this Wizards club. This quarter, they have just 2 field goals and 5 turnovers.
Well, obviously the strength of this team is their offense, and they haven't been able to get it going so far.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
I hate
to go and leave this pretty sight. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu.
Adieu, adieu, to you and you and you.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye to the 2006 models with up to $4,000 cash back or visit Kia.com.
Local sports, how you want it, when you want it. On the web, ComcastSportsNet.com. Get the latest news on your team. Watch who's making headlines with video highlights. Email Sports Extra and Sports Blast. It's free and easy. Sign up for breaking sports news, local game times, and programming alerts. On demand. Can't catch the game, then see what you missed. Comcast Sportsnet, now playing on Comcast On Demand. Get interactive with your sports, only from Comcast Sportsnet.
Comcast Sportsnet and ACC basketball. Over 40 games. The best players. The top teams. The rivalries and matchups that make the Atlantic Coast Conference the conference to follow this year. Live the excitement and passion of college basketball all season. From Comcast Sportsnet, the Mid-Atlantic's choice for local sports television. Don't miss all the action. ACC basketball on Comcast Sportsnet is presented by RSM McGladrey.
Hey fans, it's time now for the Southwest Airlines See Them There, See Them Here contest. Tonight's Southwest Airlines secret password is Coach Jordan. Log on to southwest.com/Wizards. Enter that password for your chance to win a trip for two to watch the Wizards play the Pistons at the Palace and then fly back to D.C. to see them play here at Verizon Center. Eddie's team has not scored a field goal in the last 6+ minutes here of this game. Utah has 10 more shot attempts than Washington. But due to the turnovers and offensive rebounds, that's why they're getting more chances.
Yeah, they have as many offensive rebounds as the Wizards have defensive rebounds.
Harpering. And I believe a traveling was called. Didn't see Leroy Richardson. That was the call on Harpering. 3:38 to go, and the Jazz have controlled this one clearly since the start of the second quarter. Gilbert finds Butler. Stevenson open, but they couldn't get it to him. Now Haywood works inside, flips it up, no good. Gets another rebound, had it taken away, but a foul called on the Jazz.
Brendan has been quite active on the offensive boards, at least his 5th offensive rebound. He tries to turn in on Okur, but then reacts quickly to get his own missed shot and gets fouled in the process of trying to put it back up actually before the shot, so they get it on the side.
Called it on Harpering. Wizards with the new 24. Here's Jamison. Antoine 0 for 3 from the field for Gilbert. Well, he got hit and fouled. Let's see if they give him 3 shots. That's what you talked about, Phil.
Let's see.
They will give him 3.
Well, that's a little bit more believable than the other night. That's all I'm saying. And here he's facing the basket. And, yeah, you see Derek Fisher's arms out.
Right.
He understands that, so he's going to go up through the arms, make sure he gets the contact.
Smart play.
Yeah.
Veteran play.
But not from 80 feet back.
Right. And that happened the other night from 80 feet back against Chicago, I believe it was.
Yes. Yeah, right here.
And it was 80 feet, as you know, is well into the backcourt. And they called a foul and gave him 3 shots to the amazement of Scott Skiles. And pretty much everybody.
Well, it didn't just amaze Scott Skiles. It kind of ticked him off a little bit.
Slightly.
I guess that's the best way I can put it.
Kirilenko back in for Matt Harpering. And Gilbert misses his first free throw. He's 3 of 4 from the line. Had 17 points against San Antonio. When Arenas has scored 25 or fewer points, the team is 2-10. The only times they won when he did that were against Chicago and Atlanta. He's done it 12 times this season. Okur, and he got fouled doing basically the same thing.
Yeah. Did the right thing in grabbing that ball with 2 hands and splitting the 2 defenders. Someone reached in. Could have been Jamison.
I think they got it on Stevenson, Phil. And that's his 3rd personal.
Looks like Deshaun coming in, position to help out.
Okur missing that free throw. And he makes the second. Had 11 points, a couple of rebounds starting against Miami in their 9-point loss Saturday. Jazz trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Butler slapped away to Stevenson baseline. He gets a great pick from Butler and Haywood.
Both of them, they just cleared the lane for him, made it easy.
Williams pushing it the other way. The Wizards collapse on Okur. There's Kirilenko. Kirilenko is yet to score or get a rebound. But the other guys have done quite enough damage. Gilbert trying to keep it alive, but it's knocked out of bounds to the Jazz.
Actually, that was Deshaun that was fighting for that rebound, but he's really picked up the intensity defensively. He knows he has to stay in front of Williams to try and keep the ball from it and keep his penetration at a minimum.
Williams into the paint, nice move, and an easy layup.
And just as I talk about Williams' penetration, he gets to the basket. But those are the kind of shots you hope that your big man is there to negate.
28 points in the paint for the Jazz. Gilbert got hit and fouled again by Fisher. Gilbert, coming into this game, had made 23 of 74 shots and just 8 of his last 29 three-point attempts, but he went 3 for 3 from long range in the first quarter.
They got off to a terrific start. That foul on Derek Fisher. He's not pleased with the call, his third. But that's the kind of defender he is. He's going to continue to bump and bang you. Sloan has him coming off the bench, so doesn't mind if he picks up those fouls.
Hayes back in for Deshaun, and Arkia at the half. We'll check around the NBA scores and highlights. Stats from the first half of today's game bring you up to date as the Wizards try to extend their home winning streak to 8. In fact, they haven't lost consecutive games since November 24th and 25th.
That's right. At Memphis, and then they followed that up with a loss here against Detroit. But, of course, they have a 7-game winning streak here at the Verizon Center that they'd love to see continue.
That should be goaltending, and it is. 2 more points in the paint brings the total to 30.
It got to the glass, but I don't think that was going to make it in.
That happened the other night, too.
Well, let's take another look.
It looked, well, it's tough to tell. I thought it was going to hit the rim as well.
I'm not so sure it got to the rim at first, because it was clearly on the way up.
Well, it hit the glass.
It did?
Yeah.
From that angle, it looked like he was going towards, it hadn't got to the glass yet.
I think it had gotten to the glass, and then Brendan hit it, which is why they called the goaltend.
Again, you're talking about points in the paint, 2 more for them. They have 30 points in the paint, Steve.
Here's Antoine for the first time tonight at the free throw line, a 77% shooter from the stripe. Jamison had just 11 points against San Antonio Saturday, 6 rebounds, 4 steals. Averaging now 19 a game and a little better than 8 rebounds.
Yeah, and that's pretty much been his average throughout his career. Shooting percentage is actually slightly up a few percentage points.
Wizards are 14 of 15 from the free throw line. The only miss by Gilbert, who is 6 of 7. They knocked it away, chased down, and out of bounds.
You know, it's going to be interesting. Do they call it a change of possession?
Well,
still 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah,
but I think that was going off on the Jazz, don't you?
It was, but you know, rather than let it go out of bounds, and they said his foot was on the line, they leave 6 seconds on the shot clock. That's knocked out of bounds to Washington.
A tough shot by Brewer, hounded by Jarvis Hayes. Good job by Jarvis defensively.
Jazz led after 1, 31-27. Gilbert is fouled, score the field goal, he'll go to the line. Utah, when leading after one period of play, is 15-2 on the season.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that will pick you apart because they have a pass game. Watch this drive by Gilbert. Gets by Brewer, and the continuation, he picked it up just inside the three-point line, and they call it a continuation. So he gets the basket and makes the free throw.
20 points in the first half for Gilbert on 5 of 10 from the field, including 3 three-pointers, and 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Butler is there, up ahead to Arenas for the streaking Hayes, who slams it down.
Well, that's a very encouraging move coming from Jarvis Hayes for him to explode like that. Nice pass from Gilbert Arenas to set him up.
Wizards on a 7-0 run to get the crowd alive here this afternoon and cut the lead to 8. Haywood out to help for the long jumper. No good. Rebound right to Utah, and they reset. Shot clock is off. Williams. Shooting 51% from the field. And that pass a little too far for Gilbert with 1/10 of a second to play in the half. So defensively, the Wizards have allowed this Utah team to shoot 51%, giving them 30 points in the paint and being out-rebounded 23-16. 10 of the rebounds offensive. And that contributing to the second chance points. Boozer led them with 16. Okur also had 16. Wizards were outscored in the quarter 27-21. And they trail at the half 58-48. Halftime in Washington. And we'll be back right after this.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any other form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Whether I'm catching passes or returning punts for the Redskins, it seems like I'm always running. I would never have enough energy if I didn't eat right and stay fit.
That's why Comcast Sportsnet and the Washington Redskins Charitable Foundation are urging you to get up and go.
For 30 minutes a day, instead of playing inside with video games, try going outside and playing with one of these.
When you include your friends, being active is fun.
For exercise and healthy eating tips, check out ComcastSportsNet.com.
Score the winning touchdown. And remember to get up and go.
The best damn sports show, period. Come on in and be our guest for Sports Television's Nightly Party. The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on FSN.
Wizards on Comcast Sportsnet.
For what's next, Maryland men's basketball. Fear the turtle.
Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet.
The one show devoted to your team. From the game to the locker room.
Every season, every team.
Live reports, breaking news, inside access to the players and personalities making headlines. More than just the score.
Total sports coverage.
This is your show every night, 6:30, 10, and 1 a.m. Sports Night, the heart of local sports.
Only on Comcast Sportsnet.
How can it be offensive if it's true?
Okay, first of all, I'm not 100% in love with your tone right now.
Tone aside, historically, you guys have struggled to adapt.
Yeah, right. Walking upright, discovering fire, inventing the wheel, laying the foundation for all mankind. You're right. Good point. Sorry we couldn't get that to you sooner.
Connie, your reaction?
Sounds like someone woke up on the wrong side of the rock.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Your online local sports connection, ComcastSportsNet.com.
Halftime in Washington on Martin Luther King Jr. Day as we present Kia at the half. And right now at the break, the Wizards trail the Utah Jazz by 10, 58-48. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier, and it's great to have you with us as Washington tries to snap this two-game losing streak. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 after winning 7 of 8. But in the first half, the Jazz built a 16-point lead. The Wizards managed to cut it to 8. It's now 10, 58-48 as Utah shoots 51% from the field, out-rebounding the Wizards 23-16. They scored 30 points in the paint, and Washington committed 10 turnovers in the first half that led to 12 Utah points. Check the scores around the league for you in the NBA right now. In New York, the Knicks are leading Sacramento 49-47. That's who will be here on Wednesday night. The New York Knicks come to town. In Charlotte, Milwaukee leads the Bobcats 52-51 in the Queen City at half. And at 2 o'clock in Philadelphia, the Sixers will host the Toronto Raptors. Wizards down by 10 at the half on this matinee feature to the Utah Jazz. Jarvis Hayes with a big slam there, and our halftime activities will continue from D.C. after this.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. I hate to go and leave this pretty sight. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu.
Adieu, adieu to you and you and you.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye to the 2006 models with up to $4,000 cash back or visit Kia.com.
Follow the Wizards with Southwest Airlines. Watch for the Southwest Airlines password during Comcast Sportsnet telecast of the Wizards. Then go to southwest.com/Wizards. Enter the correct information, and you could win 2 round-trip tickets to Detroit to see the Wizards, plus 2 game tickets to see the Wizards back in Washington. Flying for business or pleasure, Southwest Airlines can get you to Detroit on one of our 4 daily nonstop flights from BWI Airport. Visit southwest.com.
Dedication. Practice. To All-Star Gilbert Arenas, everything must be perfect.
Get everyone to go all in. Ticket discounts for groups of 15 or more and special group packages are available. Visit WashingtonWizards.com or call 202-661-5050.
If it's local sports, it's here. If it's the latest on your teams,
Our Sportsnet on campus coverage started bright and early.
if it's award-winning coverage before, during, and after the game, it's here.
Sports Night, the art of 50 minutes, all about your sport.
If it's the Wizards, if it's the Redskins, if it's the Capitals, it's here.
Only on Comcast Sportsnet.
If it's more local sports programming, if it's the games in high definition, it's here. If it's all of these things, it happens here together on Comcast Sportsnet. Because no other local sports network comes close. Here is your sports network. This is Comcast Sportsnet.
Halftime in Washington, where the Wizards have won 7 consecutive games here at Verizon Center. That streak is in some jeopardy right now as they trail the Utah Jazz 58-48 in the first of 2 meetings this season between these squads. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier, and I thought what Dave Branch said was somewhat prophetic. You know what Utah is going to do. The question is stopping them. I mean, it's right out there for you. They're going to attack you. They're going to use the pick and roll. the key is to be able to switch and cover, and so far they've worked their magic on the Wizards.
You have to sustain your imagination and your concentration defensively because they're going to move the ball around. They score a lot more than they normally do over the past few years, but this is a team that it will pick you apart if you allow them. They have to do a better job taking away the passing lane and, of course, cut down the offensive rebounds.
And, Eddie talked before the season about protecting the rim, but right now this team has 30 points in the paint, so they're letting them get into that key and they're letting them score.
Yeah, a lot of that's offensive rebounding, but a lot of it's this guy right here, Carlos Boozer, who has 16 points. He's a big reason. Watch the spin move to the baseline. Such a quick move, and then the power. Finishes it with the left hand. He had 16 points. Nice was here from Karolinko Brewer. He had 8 points, but they had 16 assists in the first half. And once again, another big man inside Okur. He also with 16 points. He's shooting the ball well, 6 of 10. For the Wizards on the other side, it's been mostly Gilbert Arenas. He has 20 points, a three-pointer there. He's 3 for 5. Nice drive with the foul. He converts the free throws. He's 7 for 8 from the line. Here he gets the assist to Jarvis Hayes. A nice assist on the fast break, but Washington with only 4 fast break points.
Our ones to watch, Carlos Boozer with 16 and 7, as you said. Gilbert 20. He had 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. I want to ask you a technical question. When you're posting somebody up down low and you're near the baseline, it's quicker, isn't it, to spin to your left than to spin to your right?
I think that depends on what you practice, because that's what guys do. They practice their spin moves. So once you feel more comfortable dropping that left foot or right foot going the other way. So it depends on what you work on. And it's good to see players that can spin both ways.
Sure. Well, I ask you that because, you've got the baseline as a second defender. Cheat a little bit towards that to cut the guy off if he's going to go left.
You have help towards the middle, but you got to make sure you depend that your teammates are helping you out.
Got to trust your teammates. Yep. All right, the Wizards with a 10-point hole to climb out of here as we get set to start the third quarter. And former Jazz star Sean Stevenson contributing to the Wizards' output.
Sports Extra and Sports Blast. Sign up today for breaking news, game times, feature stories, and more, plus email newsletters and news alerts. It's free and easy. Sports Extra and Sports Blast. Sign up today on ComcastSportsNet.com.
Saturday night is hockey night. Saturday soundtrack. Sounds of the game you've never heard before.
It's a hook, but it's a dive, too.
On the ice and in the locker room. Email the booth. Get your questions answered from Joe and Craig during a game. Sports Night and Post-Game Live. Before and after the game. More exclusive Caps coverage, fan interaction, and player profiles. The complete Capitals game day experience. Watch Hockey Night in Washington. Saturday only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. I followed your character since the first episode. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Thank you.
And listen, your storyline, it makes for incredible TV drama. Thing is, your drug use is very adult content. Too adult for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, have a good one.
You're a nice lady.
The Range Rover Sport. With complimentary scheduled maintenance, visit your local Land Rover Center.
The hottest show in Las Vegas is coming this February when the NBA stars gather on the same court. Get ready for the 2007 NBA All-Star Game in Las Vegas by voting daily for your favorite players on NBA.com. Vote now and enter the NBA All-Star Sweepstakes for a chance to win a trip to NBA All-Star 2007. Visit NBA.com for more information. Watch the 2007 NBA All-Star Game live from Las Vegas, February 18th only on TNT.
Arenas, he got it! Another blitz coming, Campbell, touchdown! Goal! Alexander Ovechkin!
ComcastSportsNet.com, your online source for local sports news, information, schedules, and scores. Plus, Sports Night video highlights, the latest on your teams, and more. Local sports on the web, just a click away. ComcastSportsNet.com.
Getting set to start the third quarter from Washington, where in the first of two meetings this season with the Jazz, Utah leads it by 10, 58-48, despite 20 points from Gilbert Arenas, but he was the only Wizard in double figures. In fact, the big three get 2 points from Jamison, 8 from Butler, and 20 from Gilbert as you check the Volvo stats.
Well, again, still opponents shooting over 50%, 51%. Not a lot of threes so far. Washington 3 of 7, pretty good. A lot of free throws, both teams shooting them well. But look at this number here, 23 rebounds, 10 on the offensive glass, and that helping for 17 second chance points for the Jazz. Jazz also with 16 assists. They're high on the year, 32.
Boozer and Okur, 16 apiece. Brewer, 8. Williams, 7. Millsap, 6 off the bench. Mehmet Okur in his fifth year, native of Turkey, playing in his 218th consecutive game, fifth longest active streak. Last year he averaged career numbers, played all 82 games, and tonight Mehmet Okur, 6 of 10 from the field, 16 points.
Well, he has the ability for a center to put the ball on the floor and do it efficiently. He also has three-point range, has 58 made threes coming into this game. He has a season high of 30 points he had at Atlanta, and as you said already, with 16.
Last year averaged 18 points, 9 rebounds, and again, career numbers. Gilbert leads the Wizards with 20. And the rest of the team has not gotten to double figures yet. Butler has scored in double figures in every game this year. And just barely got there the other night in San Antonio with 10 points, but it was his 15th double-double of the year. 10 and 12 rebounds. Wizards got as close as 8 on a run in the third quarter. Here's Butler inside. Short jumper, no good.
I'm telling you, Carlos Boozer has bothered him on that short shot. He's been able to get a hand up and force Karan to redirect his shot.
Utah had 16 assists in that first half. The Wizards 7.
There we go, talking about that ball movement. Everybody can deliver the pass. This time it's Carlos Boozer with the assist. Derek Fisher running without the ball.
And in typical Jerry Sloan type fashion, they held the Wizards to just 4 fast break points. Haywood on a fadeaway got hit. Brendan will shoot a pair.
I really like it when Brendan makes his moves towards the basket. I just think he's less effective shooting the fadeaway. But he looks in, gets hit on the arm by Derek Fisher. He'll have a pair of shots from the line.
Fisher just picked up his 4th personal, and Haywood converts. And so Fisher will have to come out, and they'll bring Ronnie Brewer back in. Fisher getting the start today for Gordon Giracek, who was unproductive and has been bothered by injury. Haywood gets them both. Last year they split 2. The Jazz won here, and that ended a 3-game losing streak in D.C. for them. Wizards won in Salt Lake City. They'll be back out there on March 26th.
We're going to get to Sean. He kind of put that arm out as he saw Darren Williams cutting across the lane. How many is that for him?
That's his 4th. Let's see if Eddie Jordan does anything about that. Played his first 3 years with Utah. Traded in February 04 to Orlando for Giracek. And has averaged over 11 points a game. Here's Karolinko. Boy, he's really struggled lately. Gilbert gets the rebound for Stevenson. Cuts inside. And he got fouled by Darren Williams this time.
Boy, that's a terrific move by Deshaun. Very aggressive move, too. Gets the ball out on the wing. Now he has a one-on-one opportunity. He's able to cross over in front of Williams and protect the ball and get it off the glass. You know, we talked about one of our keys being turnovers, Washington forcing turnovers, but they've not been able to do that.
There's Stevenson, who was drafted 23rd overall in 2000 by this team out of Washington Union High School in Fresno, California. And as I mentioned, played the first 3 years in Utah, only averaged a couple of points, 4.9 assists. And then got traded to Orlando, where he started all 82 games last year. Was one of just 12 players in the league to start all 82. That's blocked. And Gilbert the other way. Jazz by 9. Stevenson. Wizards with a basket can get as close as they've been in a while. Haywood kicks it out with a long jumper by Jamison. Tip up not there. Butler trying for it and gets the rebound with a new 24. Here's Gilbert. Baseline jumper. Stevenson missed it off the glass. Boy, he was right there.
I think he was bothered by his own teammate who was in front of him, Brendan Haywood, who was locked up with Okur underneath, so he had to couldn't get closer to the basket, so it made it a difficult 2-3 foot bank shot.
Butler's just picked up his second personal foul. Here's the miss by Stevenson.
Deshaun comes in. See, right there, you see Brendan. He's trying to actually clear Karolinko out, but Deshaun can't get any closer to the basket.
Back live, the Jazz missed the jumper. Stevenson the rebound. Cuts into the paint. And they go to Haywood. And that should be...
Oh, that's a block. That's a block.
That's a horrible call by Joe DeRosa. Leroy Richardson was signaling block when DeRosa made the call.
That's either a trip or a block.
Well,
and he reaches across the body. I still think that's a bad call.
Gilbert gets a steal. Trying to run the team in circles. He does. Brewer fouls him, score the field goal, and Gilbert will go to the line.
Well, I said this before. Offensively, I don't think there's anybody better in the league than Gilbert. I mean, handling the ball. I mean, he handled that ball with a lot of contact. First of all, comes up with the steal, in the top 5 in that department. Now, right here, Brewer bumps him a couple of times. He still has the strength to finish at the basket with all that contact.
Gilbert with a chance to get the team to within 6, and that's as close as they've been in a while. Washington on a 6-0 run. Arenas with 23. Okur left alone. Haywood,
that's
good position.
Rebound. That's the kind of rebound you've got to pull down.
Butler the other way. And he gets hacked by Okur, and Karan will shoot 2, and a chance to cut it to 4.
I think Karan has to get readjusted to making trips to the line. We told you before, the last 2 games, no free throw attempts for the team's best free throw percentage shooter.
And today he's 5 for 5 from the line, has 9 points. Jazz already have 4 team fouls in the quarter with 8:57 to play. Iran gets them both. The Wizards have cut what was a 16-point lead down to 4. Loser turns on Haywood. Ball knocked up into the air. The Wizards get the steal. Jamison will try a 3. Bingo! And Antoine Jamison with his first field goal of the afternoon as Washington's on an 11-0 run, and Jerry Sloan wants time. Ovation in the phone booth for the Wizards, who have come back to cut it to 1 as Jamison gets his first field goal, and it's a beauty, a 3-pointer. And the Wizards are the closest they've been to this team since the first quarter of play.
Flying to Chicago for business? If these 16 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Chicago Midway, maybe this will. You can fly from Dulles or BWI to Chicago Midway for just $59 one way. Purchased by February 14th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Follow the Wizards with Southwest Airlines. Watch for the Southwest Airlines password during Comcast Sportsnet telecast of the Wizards. Then go to southwest.com/Wizards. Enter the correct information, and you could win 2 round-trip tickets to Detroit to see the Wizards, plus 2 game tickets to see the Wizards back in Washington. Flying for business or pleasure, Southwest Airlines can get you to Detroit on one of our 4 daily nonstop flights from BWI Airport. Visit southwest.com.
Buddy Israel. No former witness against the mob has been as crucial as Buddy Aces Israel. $1 million hit fee would draw some huge flies.
You're gonna pour boxes of bullets in Israel. What are you trying to say?
Smoking Aces, rated R, starts January 26th.
Destination Miami. Follow the playoffs with Comcast Sportsnet. Watch Sports Night for analysis, highlights, in-depth playoff coverage, and more. Destination Miami tonight on Sports Night after the game here on Comcast Sportsnet. The Wizards had only 4 fast break points in the first half. They've got 6 already here, Phil, in the third quarter.
We'll see, they're rebounding the ball much better. They've rebounded all 4 of the missed shots by Utah. Then they push it up. The defense slacked in. That leaves Jamison open for his first made basket, a 3 that brings this lead down to 1.
Let's check in with Dave Branch. Dave?
During that timeout, offensively, Eddie wanted his guys to make sure that they attack, but they didn't fall into one-on-one basketball. But defensively, he says, look, we can't cheat. You've got to play your game, and then you have to trust your teammates. Back to you.
Well, that's what you and I talked about. When you make those switches against this team that forces you to have to do that on a regular basis. Gilbert Arenas has just picked up his 2nd personal foul.
But, Steve, I will say this. I've been watching Gilbert, even going back to the second quarter. He seems to be a lot more
active on defense.
Intense defensively,
yep.
Yeah.
I noticed
and
the same
making
thing.
a very concentrated effort to stay in front of his man.
Yep.
And in this situation, with Deshaun with 4 fouls, he's going to have to take Williams sometimes and stay in front of him.
And he just did on that last play, although he reached in to commit the foul. But I watched the same thing you did. He kept in front of him. He kept his feet and didn't let his man beat him to the basket. Jamison tried to go off the glass. Haywood is there, had it blocked, and it's taken away by Utah. And they nearly lost the ball, but they're going to get 2 easy points.
Well, at that moment, Gilbert, bad pass. Jamison had made a commitment to pass the ball in, even though Gilbert wasn't open, and it resulted in a turnover.
13 for Washington in the game. Williams and misses, but Okur is right there. $7:12 to go, third quarter, after the Wizards cut it to 1. Jazz have scored 3 straight.
Again, what we just talked about, Gilbert using his quickness. There's no reason why Gilbert cannot be a great defensive player when you put his size, his quickness, his agility, and his basketball
acumen.
Very good, very good. And there he goes over the top to deflect that pass.
Yeah. Williams through the legs of Boozer and out of bounds. The 8th turnover by Utah.
But I think that's the first turnover, at least the first that I can remember, of Williams. He had 9 assists and no turnovers in the first half, so he's done a very good job protecting the ball.
By the way, the Jazz have scored 4 straight since the Wizards cut it to 1. Here's Gilbert into the baseline. Good. Karan Butler. And And he's in double figures again. He's got 12 points now, so double figures in every game this year. Williams stripped away, saved over the basket, but right to Boozer. That was an interesting play. And now let's see what...
They're going to call that a possession and a rebound by Brendan Haywood.
That's really interesting, Phil, because when a shot is taken and the ball goes over the top, it's out of bounds.
That's right, even if it goes in.
This was a pass coming back inbounds that went over the top. And they said that, as you mentioned, Brendan had control, so they reset the shot clock. Okur with Arenas on him. And there's nothing you can do about that. Strength and height for the advantage. Jazz by 5 after the Wizards cut it to 1. Arenas drives, puts it up, score the field goal. He'll go to the line.
Starting to get that swag back. I think that they lost it the last 3 games. Not just Gil, but his teammates as well. And watch him make it. He can go either way on Brewer. I thought he was going to actually go baseline. What a nice delivery of the shot.
4 fouls on Brewer, and he had him turned all around.
Yep.
Brewer comes out, replaced by Harpring. Agent Zero to the line, where he has 25 points. He's missed just 1 free throw today, 8 of 9. Wizards cut it to 2, 66-64. Kirilenko has just 2 points on 2 free throws. But Boozer and Okur have done the damage. Jamison tips it to Arenas. Butler pulls up for the jumper and misses.
Well, I still like that move. That time he forced Boozer back on his heels. He has the foot speed over Boozer, so he's got to keep him off balance and not allow him to get close enough to affect his shot.
Jarvis Hayes covering AK-47 with a pass inside, and Boozer missed the layup. That was a tough shot, sweeping to his left. Arenas misses on the jumper, and Haywood's there. Butler inside, fade away, and this game is tied at 66. 14 for Butler. The Wizards have come from 16 down to tie the game. Wizards, with a big third quarter, have outscored the Jazz 18-8. Okur for 3. How do you like that? Mehmet Okur came into the game with 58 three-pointers. Arenas, great move, reverse layup, got it. He's spectacular.
He can embarrass you on defense.
Kirilenko will try. Butler baseline and knocked away.
Butler trying to sneak the baseline away from Kirilenko. He's just too quick, and Kirilenko anticipated that move.
Wizards ball with 17 on the shot clock.
And this is against a great defensive player, Andrei Kirilenko. Has him going backwards, forward, left, right, and then finally beats him to the baseline side. A little winded, but he's still in good shape.
Hayes for Gilbert with Kirilenko on him for the jumper. And he hits, and the Wizards have their first lead since the first quarter when they were up 25-24. 31 points for Agent Zero. What a comeback, the Wizards. Impressive. Williams.
Good job there on the pick and roll.
Now he fires and comes up short, and Jamison is there. Wizards push it up for Gilbert, and he's fouled by Darren Williams, and Washington will shoot 2 at the line. And on Williams, his 4th personal. Gilbert with his 19th 30-point game this season.
And of course, in the 18 games prior, the team's 16-2 during that time. And again, he just makes, and you hear the crowd chanting MVP. But again, he makes things so much easier for his teammates because, I mean, you have to focus so much of your attention. No one man can stay in front of this guy, and then he starts stroking the ball, getting it going from the outside. You have to try to take that away from him. That opens up the drive. Then his teammates are going to find themselves a little more open for open shots.
Isn't that the mark of a great player? You make your teammates better. Arenas has 9 of Washington's last 11 points. He's got 33 in the game. And the Wizards have their largest lead of 4. How about that? D. Brown into the game. Boozer tripped as he goes to the glass, scored the field goal. He'll go to the line. It's on Arenas. His 3rd personal.
Well, Gilbert's going to reach back, and that's where he gets the foul.
Not a lot of contact, but because he went falling to the ground, they called him on it.
He may have swiped him and got him on the arm. He was reaching back.
Last season, Boozer, you recall, missed the first 49 games of the year with a strained left hamstring. He ended up playing 33, the final 33. 71% free throw shooter, completes the three-point play. Boozer with 19 points and 9 rebounds. He gets a double-double. His team is 21-7 on the year. Got 28 of them this season. Knocked away by Thomas. Now the fading jumper missed it. Tipped out of there by Okur. Well, if you can't get the rebound, just tip it.
Yeah, especially, at your basket. That's what you want to do.
Gives them a new 24 and a new possession. And the Wizards get the steal. Jazz have 12 offensive rebounds. Here's Arenas. For Butler. Open from 16.
And that's what I'm talking about. Boozer had to come out and show so much to deny Gilbert a lane that left Caron Butler wide open, made it easier for him to get that open shot.
16 points for Butler, 33 for Arenas. Wizards by 3. And 2 more points in the paint for Harpering. That's 40 points in the paint.
Also have 20 assists.
Butler spins to lay it up. Score it! He'll go to the line.
Well, I think what we're seeing is this team, obviously an offensively strong team, but they're so much better when they're on the move. Watch Caron reach the defense of Okur, but then spin off him and drop the jumper.
There's nothing quite like Capitals hockey. All season, Comcast Sportsnet brings you the games. Available in high definition on Comcast Sportsnet HD TV.
He's been a shooting machine, and he scores!
Saturday night is hockey night in Washington, and more Caps coverage and news on Sports Night and Capitals Postgame Live.
Hat trick! Alexander Semin!
Nobody does hockey better. Comcast Sportsnet.
Rick Wilcoxon is a real Geico customer, not an actor. So to help tell a story, we hired an actor.
Originally, I switched to Geico to save money, but then I was in an accident.
Yeah, that's right. I was in an accident.
I got on the phone and called Geico.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey, how's it going?
After a few days, I had my repair check. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I got the check. Got my car fixed. It's my birthday. Fixed my bumper. New taillights.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
It's my birthday.
Toyota's Hybrid Synergy Drive is changing the world for the better. And increased production means no more waiting for the best-selling hybrid car in America. The Toyota Prius is affordably priced, is the leader in fuel economy, and has the lowest estimated fuel costs of any mid-size car. Add in a federal tax credit and save even more. See your Toyota dealer for a great selection of the in-stock full hybrid Prius. Toyota, moving forward.
Wizards lead by 3. Hey, fans, strike gold with a Wizards jersey pack. Purchase your package. See the Wizards play the T-Wolves, the Warriors, and the Knicks, and get a gold replica Gilbert Arenas jersey. You can't beat that. Log on to WashingtonWizards.com to order your Wizards jersey pack now.
Well, Gilbert Arenas has responded as he usually does after a sub-20-point game, and he's put up huge numbers. He's been able to drive the basket. He's been able to maneuver around just about anybody, convert at the line. He's 11 of 12 there, and this is against Karolinko, who to me is one of the best and most versatile defenders in the league. And Gilbert has made it look easy. 9 of 17, he has 5 assists, and he's already got 33 points. And once again, Washington with a record of 16-2 when he goes for 30 or more.
And their shooting has been so much better here in the third quarter. That's what's kept them in the game. They've made 9 of their last 13 shots, 69%.
Yeah, I think you've got to point to the defensive end, though. They've done a much better job. The Jazz shooting only 35% in this quarter, and Washington rebounding the ball much better, out-rebounding the Jazz.
Harpering misses a strong drive, and Antonio Daniels in the game with Hayes, Thomas, Arenas, and Butler. Jarvis drives and gets fouled, and now he goes down to the floor. That's the second time this year that he has been on that end of the floor and gone down. He got hit in the head. Jarvis, you remember, fell on his back against Cleveland on November 18th, and then amazingly came back the next game against Dallas.
Well, we've seen a strong move in that goal. Yeah, you can see clearly gets hit in the face, maybe the eye. I
think it was D. Brown that got him.
Yeah. And actually, D was the first one to react and try to make sure Jarvis knew that it wasn't intentional. There's D. Brown right there.
And Jarvis being checked by head athletic trainer Eric Waters. It looks like he's okay, but the question is, will he be able to shoot the free throws?
He's got to, or else he'll have
to come out
for good. Yeah.
Fans, we want to pass along our condolences to our friend and our colleague Marty Aronoff, who lost his mom on Thursday. Bernice Aronoff Zanoff passed away at the age of 93. And our sympathies to Marty and his family. And Marty will be back with us on Wednesday night when the Wizards play the Knicks. Marty does the official scoring and statistics around the league.
There's the stats just about everywhere.
He's
doesn't
the
matter
guru.
what sport.
Brian Taylor working our stats here tonight, and Lori Green, our stage manager. Our quarterly report, third quarter fast break points, much better for the Wizards.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell the energy is up when this team gets running. They're so much more effective, and they really pose such threats for their opponents defensively.
Hayes makes both free throws. The Wizards have their largest lead of the game, 6 points, after trailing by as many as 16 in the first half. Karolinko's short jumper, no good. And the ball to Karolinko, he got fouled. Boy, they just can't get a hold of those rebounds, and you got to give a lot of credit to Utah. They somehow keep them alive.
Like you said before, on your offensive end, if you can't grab it, at least hit it and keep it loose. And they've got people that attack, but a lot of that goes to the attitude and the mindset of their coach, Jerry Sloan. Karolinko, though, really struggling from the field. He's taken only 3 shots, but missed on all 3 badly. Doesn't really look comfortable to me when he releases a shot.
Last year, he was just the 4th player in NBA history to average 15 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks in a season.
Yeah, he just came away with a nice block there to reject that Gilbert Arenas shot.
And the putback by Boozer, and just like that, it's a 2-point lead. Utah's 15th offensive rebound of the game. After the Wizards led by 6, so 4 unanswered points by the Jazz. Good defense by Brown on Arenas. Now Daniels is there with 6 to shoot. Takes the jumper and misses.
Then they're going to try and post up Karolinko, who's being guarded by Antonio.
Double team help from Hayes. Now he kicks it to D. Brown for a rare shot that he misses, and Jarvis is there. Ahead to a streaking Arenas, who reverse layups it in.
When Daniels went down, Karolinko did everything he possibly could to block that shot, but Gilbert did such a good job of moving it around, he never could get it tracked.
For three, Karolinko misses at the buzzer, and the third quarter has come to an end. Karan Butler has made all 7 of his free throws, has 19 points. Gilbert Arenas has 35 points in the game. Brendan Haywood with a double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds. And the Wizards outscore the Jazz in the third, 34-20. After 3, it's Washington 82, Utah 78.
Dedication. Practice. To All-Star Gilbert Arenas, everything must be perfect.
Strike gold with the Wizards jersey pack. 2 tickets to see the Timberwolves, Warriors, and Knicks, and get a Gilbert Arenas replica gold jersey for only $99. Go all in at WashingtonWizards.com.
Net Impact, the show that goes beyond the box score to explore the emotion and drama of sports. This month, 2 New Yorkers drive the course of the New York City Marathon to show the town how it's done.
Really? I just don't see how that's a good idea. And I nearly got us into an accident.
Plus, a young boy's courage makes him a hero to Raven star Todd Heath.
From what they were telling me, it was almost a miracle how he's come out of it.
Don't miss an all-new Net Impact, January 22nd on Comcast Sportsnet. There's nothing quite like Capitals hockey. All season, Comcast Sportsnet brings you the games. Available in high definition on Comcast Sportsnet HD TV.
He's been a shooting machine, and he scores!
Saturday night is hockey night in Washington. And more Caps coverage and news on Sportsnet and Capitals Postgame Live.
Hat trick! Alexander Semin!
Nobody does hockey better. Comcast Sportsnet.
Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball brought to you tonight by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA and your Washington Wizards. And by Jim Coleman Toyota, the home of one-price buying. Good third for the Wizards, wouldn't you say, Phil?
I would definitely say at both ends of the court. After one half, the Jazz shooting 51%, but that quarter, 7 of 23, 30% shooting, so you can see that number right there, 44%. Washington doing a good job defensively. And look at this number down here, fast break points, 14-4, Washington with the advantage. They really got their game going. I think they only had 4 fast break points in the first half, so they gave them 10 in the third quarter.
Eddie decides to start the fourth period with Donnell Taylor in the lineup. Okur over Thomas. Great defense by Atan. Daniels, Donnell Taylor, Butler, Jarvis Hayes, and Atan Thomas start the fourth for Washington. And let's check in with Dave Branch. Dave?
Guys, during that timeout, obviously, Eddie Jordan wants the Wizards to continue to play good defense as we see Antonio Daniels go in for the layup. But he stressed that he wants them to play defense without fouling. So certainly doesn't want to get Utah into the penalty early. What do you think, guys?
Well, this is a team, both these teams get to the line a lot. Washington slightly more than Utah. So, no, you don't want to start putting them on the line. But they've been doing a terrific job defensively since the first half ended.
This is the largest lead of the game for Washington, 7 points. Karolinko battling down low with Daniels, and call it on AD, they do. He and Karolinko have been physical underneath.
Well, he knows he has to fight Karolinko for inside position. He's going to bang the boards. That's what he has to do. Make Karolinko shoot some outside shots and make them out there. If he starts doing that, then you'll readjust your train of attack.
Karolinko has missed all 4 of his field goal attempts in this game, has his 4 points from the free throw line. Here's Harpering. Turns on Hayes, short jumper no good, and Butler is there for the rebound. His 5th of the game to go along with 19 points. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Dave Branch. and our Comcast Sportsnet crew. Wizards try to extend their home winning streak, which stands at 7 here at Verizon Center. Underneath, Okur is fouled, and he'll shoot 2. It's on Donnell Taylor. Gilbert Arenas getting a rest. Gilbert has 35 points on 10 of 19 shooting and 11 of 12 from the line.
Well, you see that bounce pass just gets past Etan, and that leaves a driving lane for Okur to get to the basket, but he's fouled on the attempt.
23 points, make it 24. He's now 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Gilbert speaking with assistant coach Phil Hubbard. And Arenas also has 3 personals, so he's okay. Stevenson has 4. And the 4 Jazz players have 4 personal fouls. Daniels, Butler, inside. He wanted a foul but didn't get it. Here's Williams the other way. Lays it off for Harpering, who got fouled. That's on Donnell Taylor. Matt Harpering will head to the free throw line, a 71% shooter.
Harpering, a very effective player for George Sloan off the bench. Let's see. He's trying to go somewhere before he really had the ball, but still got the contact from Donnell Taylor.
Got him in the shin, and Harpering misses the free throw. Harpering in his 9th year. Not certain who wears the pants in his family, but we know who had the jeans. His grandfather, Norb, played college football at the Naval Academy. His dad was a gridiron star at Michigan. His uncle Chip played at Notre Dame, while his brothers John and Brian played college football at Akron and Northwestern, respectively.
Why would you still assume that he wears the pants in his family?
I said I didn't know who wore the pants. Right now, it's Todd Thomas wearing the pants for Washington as he spins inside, gets the basket, and will try to complete a 3-point play.
Duran looking inside, and Etan spinning to his left, finishing off. And we talked about that early on in the year, that when you talk about tendencies between players, Etan really seems to be much more comfortable turning to his left, finishing that way.
Again, Washington by 7, matching their largest lead. 10-10 to go in regulation. Wizards 20-16 on the year. They've lost 3 of their last 4. Knocked away by Taylor, and a kick ball. I didn't see the kick. I saw Williams hold Taylor up. I never saw the kick.
Yeah, I thought the strip came from the hand.
I did too.
He reached across and he watched him try to.
I never saw a kick. That was interesting. Here's Harpering for Okur. Fade away, good. Mehmet Okur, 10 of 18 from the field. 27 points.
That's what he does well as a big center. He's able to go away from the basket and hit the outside shot.
Okur's season high is 30. Butler with 3 to shoot. Jarvis Hayes in the corner. No good. Jarvis 1 of 4 from the field. The only field goal was that terrific slam dunk. Blocked by Thomas. Karolinko on the floor. And they get it to Williams with 5 to shoot. Here's Okur for a long 3. Oh, that is brutal.
Yeah, that hurts. He actually had more time to position himself closer to the basket, but obviously he felt comfortable enough from there to pull the trigger.
He's tied his season high with 30 points. And nearly a bad pass. Here's Donnell Taylor trying to control.
Watch this guy here.
Now Taylor's jumper misses. And a rebound to Utah. Wizards 7-point lead down to 2. Okur for 3. And And a loose ball foul on Washington. It's on Etan Thomas. And that'll give the Jazz another shot at it. Well, this Utah Jazz comeback has occurred with Gilbert Arenas getting a rest on the bench. And you think it might be time for him to get back into the lineup. Timeout in D.C.
Attention Toyota buyers. One price buying is here at Jim Coleman Toyota.
No commission salespeople and low, no haggle sale prices. Now there's a better way to buy a car. We have hundreds of new Toyotas, and this is what you'll find on every windshield. One low, no haggle sale price and how much we paid the factory. I'm Ken Rogers. If you want salaried salespeople and no-nonsense car buying, I'll see you here at Jim Coleman Toyota in Bethesda, across from the Montgomery Mall.
I want Israel dead. Buddy Israel. What's the rate? $1 million.
On January 26th, in one place, at one time, the hit goes down. Smokin' Aces. Rated R. Starts January 26th.
Nobody covers Maryland basketball like Sports Night. Tuesday night, it's the Gary Williams Report. The coach breaks down what happened on the court and what's next for the Terps. The Gary Williams Report, presented by Subway. Fresh. Tuesday on Sports Night, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
My pot of gold, your daddy's little girl, till heaven home.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, take a look at our Toyota League leaders, Carlos Boozer, who has 21 points and 10 rebounds tonight. 28 double-doubles coming into this game, second in the league, fourth in rebounds, ninth in field goal shooting. And his numbers of the last 5 games have been impressive, to say the least.
Well, last year averaging 16 points and 8.5 rebounds. Of course, as you said, Steve, missed a large portion of last year, only played in 33 games, had 30 points in the game, the one game he played against the Wizards, and he showed you the kind of ability he had in that short time, but obviously this year heading towards his first All-Star game.
So it's his 29th double-double of the season, and as I mentioned, the Jazz are 21-7 when he registers a double-double. Wizards lead is down to 2. And Gilbert is back in the game. Here's Boozer for Williams. Around the Boozer screen, knocked out of bounds by Thomas with 10 on the shot clock. Wizards led by as many as 7.
When you look at this offense, they kick the ball, they run, set the pick and roll. They don't have anything. They reset, move the ball around, and that's what Jerry Sloan wants to see from his players. Don't see a lot of one-on-one dribbling.
Thomas this time collars the rebound. Etan off the bench with 4 boards and 5 points in 14 minutes. Haywood got the start. He's got a double-double with 10 and 10. Arenas for 3. That's off the mark. Thomas got away with a push and couldn't get the rebound. .7:35 to go in regulation. And a foul. Will it be on a pass? Mark Davis says somebody hit somebody in the head. It's Etan Thomas who gets the foul.
Get the impression Derek Fisher was trying to get them to call the foul on Gilbert Arenas, who was in there, but they're telling him it was Etan that got you in the face.
And with 7:31 to go in regulation, Jazz are in the penalty situation now. 2 shots. Fisher gets the first. Hey, fans, watch the Wizards games when you want to with Comcast Sportsnet on demand. It's on Comcast Digital Cable. Comcast Sportsnet. Nobody does basketball better. This has been a pretty good game here this afternoon. Second 1 o'clock game in 8 days. Wizards played a 1 o'clock game last Sunday in Toronto and, as you know, lost that one. Wizards have dropped 3 out of their last 4 after winning 7 of 8. Jamison for a 3-pointer, a little short. Boozer's there. Jazz are on a 7-0 run to tie the game at 88. Moved around beautifully for an open shot by Williams and a three. Arenas bothered by Fisher for Daniels. AD penetrates, kicks it out to Jamison. Nice pass by Daniels.
Well, that quick move to the middle forced the defense to collapse and gave Jamison the look that he wanted and felt comfortable with.
Antoine was lurking on the baseline, and you could see Daniels catch him out of the peripheral vision. Okur fouled by Jamison. Well, the other night against Miami, Phil, and you talked about it, they went to the free throw line 52 times. Tonight, this is their 23rd attempt.
And there's that baseline move that we talked about once again. You have some help with the baseline, but you can't leave an opening for that player to squeeze through, because now, if he's on your side, you're in a tough position defensively. 9 times out of 10, you get the foul call.
Actually, they shot 54 free throws against Miami, but missed 17 of them. Tonight, they are 21 of 24 from the line. And the Jazz lead by 2. Wizards will be home Wednesday night to play the Knicks. Again, Jamison, this time he fires back to Thomas in the paint, and he had it taken away. Wizards fouled, and he scores.
Again, I talked about the limited role he played last year with the injuries that plagued him early on. And there was some talk about disappointment from the Utah management. When you watch them run this break, fans wanted that to be the charge, but Boozer handling the ball in traffic and dropping it in with the left hand.
Instead, Thomas picks up his 4th personal foul. 2 shots when we come back.
It's jammed or something.
What are you doing?
Step back.
Please.
What are you doing in my car?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines nonstop from BWI Airport to Detroit for just $49 one way with a one-day advance purchase by February 28th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Local sports, how you want it, when you want it. On the web, ComcastSportsNet.com. Get the latest news on your team. Watch who's making headlines with video highlights. Email Sports Extra and Sports Blast. It's free and easy. Sign up for breaking sports news, local game times, and programming alerts. On demand. Can't catch the game? Then see what you missed. Comcast Sportsnet, now playing on Comcast On Demand. Get interactive with your sports, only from Comcast Sportsnet.
I am Karan Butler. Commitment drives me. Try to stop me. You won't.
Go all in with the Washington Wizards. Individual game tickets through February are on sale now. Great matchups include the Timberwolves, Kings, and defending champion Heat. Go to WashingtonWizards.com or call 202-397-SEAT.
Well, the Wizards got the better of the Jazz in the third quarter, outscoring them by 14. But here in the fourth quarter, Washington's been outscored 17-9. Check the forward-game summary. Mehmet Okur 1 point away from matching his career high of 33.
That's right. He's already established a season high 32. Gilbert with his 19th 30-point game. He has 35 so far. And Washington only 4 fast break points in the first half. Since then, they've established their fast break running game. They have 14 now.
1 free throw for Carlos Boozer, who made the field goal. He's 11 of 16 from the field. and 2 for 2 from the line, has 24 points. And after the Wizards led by 7 at 88-81, they have been outscored 15-3 in the last 4 minutes of play. Gilbert around Williams, puts it up, gets fouled, and pops back up to shoot 2.
And you can see how all eyes are on Gilbert Arenas when he has the ball. Harpering actually comes from the other side on the free throw line to try and attack that shot. He gets him on the elbow, but denies him the layup.
Yeah, he's a hard-nosed guy, Matt Harpering, and he's going to do that when the player gets into the air. Not going to let you score a layup. And that's the right way to do it.
That's absolutely.
Gilbert makes the free throw, 12 of 13 from the line, 10 of 20 from the field, also has 5 assists, a couple of rebounds, 36 points. Gilbert averaging 29.7 coming into the game following the 17-point performance at San Antonio Saturday. Gets them both there. Jazz by 3, and they get 2 more in the paint. That gives them 46 points in the paint.
Well, they love to run that back cut like that, and they have centers in Boozer and Okur that can deliver that pass.
Jazz started the season winning 12 of their first 13 games. Since then, they have a record of 12-12. Jamison, nice pass. Thomas can't score, but Atan got fouled. And he'll shoot a couple of free throws. Got hit in the nose, it looks like. Carlos Boozer.
Some big free throws coming up for Atan. Boozer going for the ball, but accidentally catching him in the face somewhere.
Again, guys get inside. They're not going to let you have an easy layup. And that's clearly, coming from the coach.
Going back to Boozer, I didn't get to finish my story. Last year about this time, there was a lot of unhappiness and uneasiness about his injury. He wasn't coming back. It was too slow. And there were rumors that they were willing to look at trading him. And can you imagine them trading a guy that's putting up these kind of numbers now?
Patience a virtue for them.
Yeah.
Khan misses the second. Jamison nearly had the rebound, couldn't quite get control of it. Boozer had a bad hamstring last year. But now that this team is healthy, they really feel like they've got a good group of guys. Harpering, that's an offensive foul. Good call.
Yeah. And Boozer's such a big part of their success because he provides that inside scoring. Like we said, in the top 10 in field goal percentage, high percentage shooting. So now you've got to drop off and help. It makes the perimeter game equally as effective. You see Atan sitting down, still kind of holding his lip or his nose.
6 points, 4 rebounds for him. That was the first Utah turnover in 10 minutes. Knocked away, good steal. Gilbert for Daniels. Slips on the penetration and calls time.
Boy, good quick reaction from Antonio.
Just to get that ball back and then call the timeout. Slipped when he tried to penetrate. So there's 4:23 to go here in regulation, and the Wizards with the ball are down by 4.
Nobody covers sports like Comcast Sportsnet. First with the Hall of Fame announcement.
Part of a dream as a kid would be to have this wonderful career in baseball and be celebrated in the Hall of Fame.
Exclusive one-on-one with Cal.
How did that feel to actually be validated as one of the best?
I see this as a celebration for baseball, and I play a small role in that celebration.
Live on Sports Night.
Would we be here right now with baseball in the shape it's in right now without what Cal did?
The best local sports coverage. Comcast Sportsnet.
Wizards on Comcast Sportsnet.
My favorite NBA League Pass moments.
And
Anytime LeBron James is playing.
NBA League Pass lets you follow your favorite players and teams, even if they're in one city and you're in another.
I try not to miss any of his games.
What a pass! Even on the road, I just watch the NBA League Pass broadband, flip over my laptop and, I can watch it right there.
Don't miss the NBA League Pass free preview, January 22nd to the 28th. To order, call DirecTV, Dish Network, or your local cable provider.
Every game, every minute counts.
Fans, we invite you to check out Comcast Sportsnet for the only sports show you will need. News, highlights, scores, and more. That's Sports Night, the heart of local sports, and it's presented by PricewaterhouseCoopers. It'll be on tonight after the game here on Comcast Sportsnet. Wizards host the Knicks here Wednesday night, make a trip to Orlando Friday. Then the very next night, they'll entertain the Celtics. Then Phoenix comes to town.
Ooh, that should be a good one.
And then they go to Detroit and Boston on a road trip. Yeah, that Phoenix was one of the best games we've ever seen out there in the Valley of the Sun.
Yeah.
Wizards winning and Gilbert dropping 54 in that one. He's got 37 here tonight. The Wizards, who led by 7, are trailing by 4 as Gilbert drives. Butler puts it up and in.
Boy, Gilbert was upset that he didn't get a foul. Drove hard to the basket. But Caron Butler with the offensive putback. That's their 12th offensive rebound for the game.
21 points, 6 rebounds for Butler. Williams for Boozer in the paint. And Leroy Richardson was ready, it looked like, to call an offensive foul, but he has changed his mind. It's on Caron Butler, a blocking foul.
Looked like he was looking down at the floor, which usually indicates he thinks that the foot, 1 or 2 of the feet were inside the restricted area. That doesn't really look like, from that replay, it looked like he was a little bit outside of the restricted area.
It also looked to me like he wasn't set. He got there and then slid over to try to catch the position, and I think that was the indication from Richardson. Nonetheless, Caron picks up his 4th personal as Boozer misses for the first time tonight. He's 2 of 3 from the line. 24 points, 12 rebounds. Gets the second. And the Jazz lead by 3. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Dave Branch will be with you Wednesday night for the game against the Knicks. Arenas pulls up on Fisher and just missed it. Boy, that was a good look at that shot.
But they thought as he pulled the ball up, he got hit on the elbow.
Gilbert is 0 for 4 in this quarter. Underneath and a miss. He'll have another shot at it. Gilbert, pretty as you please. 39 points for Arenas, and the lead by Utah is 1. Eddie imploring his team now to play defense.
They've got to get Boozer on that.
Hard to believe that that's not an offensive foul. That's hard to believe. We had the perfect angle. You could see him moving, trying to set that screen on Daniels.
And there was so much spacing between him and Williams. And there you see dips that right shoulder, and that's what Antonio's pointing at.
Yeah,
he's moving.
Absolutely. You could see him slide across as well. Boy, that was a missed call. And that's the kind of call that these guys have to get better. They've got to get better at
a little bit there, but this is the real one there. Not set. There's so much of a space that Daniels able to get through.
Williams, good game for him. 12 points, 12 assists, no turnovers, and 4 steals for Darren Williams. But that call really hurt.
Somebody's going to have to look at some tape at the end of this game.
I think 3 guys in particular will be looking at some tape.
Well, I guess they're not taped now.
It's tape.
Video.
Yeah. Sure.
But watch this collision. Okur just turns Daniels back with the contact. Fortunately, Daniels hangs in there and maintains possession of the ball, but I tell you.
Well, what was interesting is that, and we've talked about this before, we are graciously invited up to the officials' clinic every year in September to meet with all 63 refs and, of course, their supervisor. And one of the that we talk about a lot is setting that pick and players remaining stationary, not gaining even a little bit of an advantage. And it's a tough call, but, you know.
And we're also taught about the contact on an offensive player with the ball. There was plenty of contact on Daniel.
Yeah. Okur for three. Backbreaker.
We said that coming into this game, he's a big man that can step out and shoot that shot. He has 2 3-pointers on the night. Came in here with 58.
And has a career high 35, and Gilbert Arenas matches his three with a three of his own, and Gilbert has 42 points in the game. 7th time this season that Gilbert has scored 40 or more points, the 26th of his career, and Harpering was really clobbered by Haywood.
Well, this all starts with Boozer able to kind of headhunt, set the pick, so now that forces Brendan to stay with Darren Williams. Now he comes over and fouls Matt Harpering.
Harpering 3 of 4 from the line, has 7 points, 5 rebounds, a 71% free throw shooter on the season. Harpering in his 5th year in Utah after 1 in Philly, 1 in Cleveland, and his first 2 in Orlando. The Magic took him 15th overall in '98 out of Georgia Tech. Gets them both. Jazz by 3 with 1:50 to play in regulation. Gilbert for the three-pointer. Good. Tied at 106. 45 points for Gilbert Arenas, who has 6 3-pointers on the night.
And it looks like this thing's going right down to the wire, doesn't it?
It sure does. Okur will try to answer, and does! Mehmet Okur with a career-high 38 points.
Jameson is out there on him. He's just made a couple of threes. I say you get out there and make him do something different now.
Okur has got 4 3-pointers. Here's Arenas. He got fouled going up. They're going to give him 3 shots.
I think that was Derek Fisher with the foul. But he's trying to stay so close to Gilbert that when Gilbert stopped to pull up, his momentum carried him into Gilbert. Watch this again. He's fighting through that pick now. He actually gets held up by his own teammate, and the contact occurs on the 3-point attempt.
Arenas has missed 1 free throw in 14 attempts. You see the numbers, his 7th 40-point game this season. He's got 46 here this afternoon. Butler has 21, Jason 8, Haywood 10. Arenas can tie the game with 1 more free throw, 47 points. And Eddie Jordan will get Jarvis Hayes into the game for Brendan Haywood. Haywood with a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. He's 4 of 5 from the field.
And this means Eddie's going small. And boy, look to see them get the ball into Boozer's hands when they get possession again.
Gilbert with all 3 free throws. He has the last 9 Washington points in only 56 seconds and has 48 for the game. We're tied at 109. 13th tie of the afternoon. Okur dumps it underneath. Harpering kicks it out to Williams for 3. Missed everything, and Butler's there. Tied at 109. Arenas off the glass, and he couldn't get it. The tip not there. Hayes, the jumper, good! Timeout, Utah. And he looks like a genius now for putting Jarvis into the game.
Who would have thunk it? I mean, you go with your smaller lineup, and you come away with a stop defensively inside, and then the offensive rebound and putback by Jarvis Hayes.
6 points off the bench for Jarvis, none bigger than these two.
Arenas, he got it. Blitz coming, Campbell, touchdown. Goal! Alexander Ovechkin.
Follow the Wizards with Southwest Airlines. Watch for the Southwest Airlines password during Comcast Sportsnet telecast of the Wizards. Then go to southwest.com/Wizards. Enter the correct information, and you could win 2 round-trip tickets to Detroit to see the Wizards, plus 2 game tickets to see the Wizards back in Washington. Flying for business or pleasure, Southwest Airlines can get you to Detroit on one of our 4 daily nonstop flights from BWI Airport. Visit southwest.com.
Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball has been brought to you tonight by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA and your Washington Wizards. And by Geico, where a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. 48 points by Gilbert Arenas. His high at Verizon Center. In front of 15,524. Shot clock and game clock are almost even. Darren Williams guarded by Jamison. Kicks it out. Fisher's jumper well short. Right to Boozer, who lays it in. Oh my. He shot an air ball and it came right to Boozer. And what's it called by Leroy Richardson? And the Wizards took a timeout with 11 seconds to play. Washington is out of timeouts. And the Jazz have 2 20-second timeouts remaining. Both teams in the penalty.
Well, Eddie Jordan electing to stay with that small lineup. They get out on the perimeter, affect the shot of Derek Fisher, but the offensive rebound gathered in by Boozer and the putback. And it's a 2-point shot. You can see his foot on the line, but Boozer with the recovery for the Jazz. Their 17th offensive rebound on the night. You look at second chance points, a plus 12 for the Jazz.
We could see, I know I could tell it was an air ball when he shot it, but we had a better angle.
Well,
really.
We're looking at that angle. Keep in mind, they're trying to keep a body on somebody as big as Boozer, but yet also pick up the ball. Sometimes you have to leave one, and for that split second, you don't see the ball coming.
Boozer knew it was an air ball, and he was right there to get it. In the meantime, this crowd, as I mentioned, of 15,524 has seen Gilbert Arenas score more points in this building than he has in his entire career. 48 points. Remember last year he had his career high here, 47 against Miami. 48 tonight. He's 13 of 28 from the field, 16 of 17 from the free throw line.
Well, as both teams come out, you got to believe that that ball's going to try to get to Gilbert, and you got to also believe that the Jazz are going to try and deny him and certainly deny a drive.
Wizards have scored 63 points this half. 11 seconds remain in regulation. Tied at 111. Arenas pops out. Can he do it again? Agent Zero checks the clock. Gilbert for the win. Got another one! He is amazing! Gilbert Arenas wins the game at the buzzer for the Wizards.
Boy, you could see it happen once again. As soon as it left his hand, he knew it was good. He raised both hands and relaxed, and the crowd just went crazy.
51 points and a dagger for Gilbert Arenas to get the victory. 114 to 111. He makes it look as easy as pie.
See, once he received the ball, it was like the hard part of the job was done. Jaron Williams came up on him tight, and you could see the confidence just come out in Gilbert Arenas.
Listen to this crowd, Phil.
Yeah, he got the shot that he wanted, feels comfortable, and we talked about this before. Players like this, in key situations when it's right down, their concentration gets extremely high.
(114 to 111), the Wizards victorious. And Washington extends their win streak here at home at Verizon Center to 8 consecutive games. They snap a 2-game losing streak and improve to 21-16 on the year. Take another look at this amazing shot. Our Mitsubishi Motors play of the day from Gilbert Arenas.
Well, again, the confidence so clear in his mind and on his face. Positioned his defender where he wanted, was able to get him to back off and then raise up and shoot the jumper, and it was pretty as you please. And this continues his string of games where at the end, within 3 to 4 seconds of a period.
And now Gilbert Arenas is standing by with Dave Branch. Dave. We have a technical difficulty with Dave Branch's microphone with Gilbert Arenas, as Arenas scores 12 of Washington's last 14 points. 51 in the game for Gilbert, and he wins it at the buzzer for Washington. So for Phil Chenier, Steve Buckhantz reminding you that Wizards basketball has been a presentation of Washington Sports and Entertainment, Comcast Sportsnet, and the NBA. Once again, our final score, the Wizards 114, the Jazz 111. Stay tuned for Wizards Postgame Live coming up next. Phil and I will see you in the postgame show, and again Wednesday night for the game against the New York Knicks. Wizards a winner by 3 over Utah. Have a safe afternoon, everyone.